down so many times it doesn't matter, but the problem is the wind down here. Little Joey Hill, we've had to weight him down so he won't blow away one of the attendants, but I'm just looking at Marimbula Bay. He looks a real class horse. I suppose he's a Group 1 winner, but he came down here and very relaxed and about ready to go, but they're 19 up now, Dan.
Marimbula Bay, the favourite, about $1.80 on the Victorian tote. As we talk to John Letts. John, he's the class horse. He's a Doncaster winner. Gee, I suppose you'd think you'd have to beat these, although he hasn't been running like a Doncaster winner of late.
No, but Dan, if you put him in a handicap, like in the Doncaster, he's won the race, and most of these horses wouldn't get into the Doncaster. But a horse that did take my eye, I think Marimbula Bay will win the race, but a horse that did take my eye was Flamenco King, a roughie. Pretty good odds, and he caught my eye in the yard, and I like him a little bit. And if I was Quinelling races, horses today, I'd be taking the favourite with Flamenco King.
Silver Shark going in with Jim Cassidy. And Durham Rivers going up to the gates with Neville Wilson aboard. Gee, this horse bolted in last start of Warrnambool, and the Koroyd Cup carried 60 kilos. It was a mammoth run. Prince Carrick going up, big chance as well. Shane Dye aboard, the field set to go for the Country Cup. Prince Carrick the outside, the lights on. Set to go, and they're racing off. Prince Carrick stood there and missed the start, 10 lengths. And one of the first to bound away was Marimbula Bay from Stewart's event. Ryder Ben, Durham Rivers is in search for the lead, and Star of Marquise over on the inside. Then came Raja Supreme, Ash and Prince. Silver Sharks around them 4 deep, and then Carrow in midfield from Flamenco King. Followed by Ticolara. Getting back was Bold Selection, 4 lengths to Windchill, and a length and a half away then a Lucent Bijou, and missing the start 10 lengths was Prince Carrick. He's last but tacked onto them. About 1,100 metres to go. Durham Rivers by a length and a half. Ryder Ben second, third Stewart's event over on the inside. They were followed by Star of Marquis and Marimbula Bay, well placed over on the inside, Foxwise, and then Ash and Prince. A length and a half to Raja Supreme, and over on the inside was Carowin, Silver Shark 3 deep. Followed by Ticolara, Flamenco King, a length further back to Bold Selection, and then Prince Carrick, Lucent Bijou and Windchill. Up to the bend they go, 700 metres to run, and Durham Rivers in front. Leads about 3/4 to coming at it quickly, Ryder Ben. A length and a half to Stewart's event over on the inside of Marimbula Bay and Star of Marquis. Marimbula Bay given a crack with a whip by Didman. Ash and Prince out wide, followed by Foxwise at the dock and Carowin. In the straight, 400 to go, Durham Rivers in front, Ryder Ben challenging. Getting up on the inside, Foxwise, running on was Carowin. Down the outside, Marimbula Bay at the 250. Stewart's event went to the front. Carowin goes for the run. Stewart's event in front. Carowin getting up on the inside with Foxwise. Carowin drives through on the inside for trainer John Leake and jockey Simon Marshall. Carowin drew clear with 50 metres to go, and Carowin wins the Country Cup. Second, Marimbula Bay and nose to Foxwise and Raja Supreme. Then Stewart's event, followed by Ticolara. Next home would have been Flamenco King and Star of Marquis. Well back, Bold Selection. Then Windchill, Durham Rivers, Prince Carrick, Lucent Bijou. Well back, Ryder Ben, Ash and Prince, and Silver Shark was last. Winner is Carowin, number 5, ridden by Simon Marshall at about 16 to 1. Bit of a surprise for most people, I suppose, but the horse's form had been all right. I know he was aiming at a Caulfield Cup start at one stage, trainer John Leake was with this horse. He hurt himself at Cranbourne and didn't end up getting a start, but he's won today and was probably always going to win in the straight.
He was going to win all the time down the straight, Dan, but Marimbula Bay had every chance. I thought Mick Dittman rode him very well. Foxwise was a good run, but the horse that we did throw out as a roughie, Flamenco King's finished just behind the place getters and a little bit weaker a race around. I think there'll be one around for him. The others I didn't think did much at all, Dan, but all honours with the winner. Marimbula Bay, like, he's had a fair bit of weight. He's given that horse 3.5 kilos, and I think that's what's told Marimbula Bay. He's paid for his wins earlier, hadn't he?
Certainly has. Carowin won the Pakenham Cup earlier this year, and a brilliant ride by Simon Marshall, reminiscent to that of Warren when he won the big mile race on the final day. Simon rode him that day, and it was very similar, and he's won quite easily at the post. There's a photo for second between one Marimbula Bay. Who do we put our hard-earn on?
Well, I'm just looking at it, Canot, whatever they call it. I like it. I like Royal Pay too. She looked very well coming down. And very hard race to go for. If you're at the last here, give up, put your hands up maybe. But one thing about them, they've all come down. No one's really broken out. I think there's wind down here that's pretty stiff down here. Dan has really made sure that no one's got on the toe. I was a bit worried about the whole horses getting very uptight because of the wind, but they've been very well behaved. But you know, they're, I like the toppy, I suppose, when you really look at it, Royal Pay.
Yeah, Joe, I tell you what, Crackers, you know, she's 15 to 1 on the tote. I know she's gone up 6.5 kilos in weight. As you said, she did look terrific, but they are extravagant odds for a horse that didn't beat mares last day, beat open class handicappers.
Well, she might, I would just checked it when Bob wasn't tipping. I thought she might have lost 4 legs somewhere along the line, but she came down here. Well, you know, if she was my horse, I'd be quite happy the way she was presented. And I might just reckon she might have a bit too much class, but it is a very exacting race this for 1400 metre, and especially the way the wind is at the moment, and get him balanced. They're getting him in now, as you can hear them calling. They're very keen to get on with the race because the last race at the moment, I think they might be a couple of minutes behind.
I tell you who I thought looked really, really well. A horse that won this race last year. She's 40 to 1 on the tote, Red Summit.
Yeah, well, she comes from Little Eaton, and remember she got up on the inside and browsed them right in the finish, and I'd like to see her do it again. She's a Riverina galloper, and she's got a little bit of class about it, but maybe she snuck on them last year and probably mightn't be up to them this year. That's her in screen at the moment. Thanks, Crackers. John Letts, you've ridden in plenty of 1400 metre races here at Flemington. Is it imperative to be up on the pace or on the paint?
I think that's been the pattern all day today, Dan, that they've all the winners have been up near the speed. Colin Noir caught my eye in the mounting yard when she walked down, very relaxed filly, and she looks the one to beat. Vic Thompson, very good trainer. Darren Beedman's won the Melbourne Cup on Tuesday. She's drawn very well, looked nice, and she's had that experience at Caulfield the other week this way of going, and I think she'll be very hard to beat. But it's interesting for Bob to make the comment about Lady Officer. She raced in Adelaide and was one of our most promising fillies over there last year, and if she gets anywhere near her form, she's going to be pretty hard to beat in the race.
Thanks, John. Only 1 or 2 to come up. Diamond Zephyr, one of those, and Market Heights, trained by David Hayes. Galatina, one of 2 greys in the race, drawn the inside. Apothecary next to it with Simon Marshall of Ward Road Carrawin to win the previous event, the Country Cup. Magnificent ride. The field just about set for the final race on Oaks Day, named after a great sprinter of the mid-70s, Maybe Mahal, trained by Bart Cummings. Field set, starter on the platform, light on, they're off and racing. Pretty good break too. Northern Shine is customary, slow to begin, and she's out the tail with Alanira early. Royal Pay won the start from Galatina. Hot sets up in search for the lead with Rising Supreme. Market Heights caught out deep, and then Apothecary followed by Red Summit, Connaught Noir, Ben Barra, Queen Deep. Over on the inside behind that wall of horses was Alanira, then Diamond Zephyr. At the dock around them from Shanghai Escapade and Lady Officer, Northern Shine, and last of all was Grey Rose. Inside the 1,000-metre point, Rising Supreme worked to the lead from Market Heights. Going up into third placing was Hot Set, then Galatina, followed by Apothecary on the inside of Royal Pay, Ben Barra, Queen Tax Summit, Red Summit rather, back about 8. Over on the inside was Alanira, followed by Connaught Noir, taken deep. A length and a half to At the Dock and Diamond Zephyr, then Shanghai Escapade, Lady Officer, Northern Shine, and Grey Rose. Around the turn, 550 metres to go, and the leader is Rising Supreme by 2 lengths to Market Heights and Galatina. Apothecary next, and then Hot Set. Royal Pay got badly checked. Ben Barra, Queen running on strongly, went up to take the lead from Rising Supreme at the 350. Here's Connaught Noir down the outside, Diamond Zephyr, then At the Dock, Red Summit. Inside the 300, Ben Barra, Queen in front. Here's Diamond Zephyr out wider. Ben Barra, Queen in front. Diamond Zephyr goes up to her, then Connaught Noir. Diamond Zephyr in front of Connaught Noir, and Diamond Zephyr burst clear. And it's a double to trainer Lee Friedman. Diamond Zephyr wins by about 2. Connaught Noir second, third Ben Barra, Queen, then Lady Officer. Northern Shine flew home at the finish. Then Royal Pay, Hot Set. Royal Pay didn't have the best of luck. Apothecary next in from Rising Supreme, Lady Officer. Alanira well back, Shanghai Escapade and Grey Rose, Red Summit, Market Heights, and Galatina back at the tail. Last event on the program, having been won by Diamond Zephyr, number 8, ridden by Darren Gauci. John to pay $2.95 and $1 in Victoria. Connaught Noir $95. Ben Barra, Queen $2.25, and that's her second win over this course and distance.
There's no doubt about the Gouch. No doubt about the Gouch. Connaught Noir looked the winner, definitely 300 metres from home, but the Diamond Zephyr moved up on the outside and put it beyond doubt very quickly, Danny. But the horse that was the run of the race, I thought, that horse that used to come out the barrier last, Northern Shine. I've never seen a horse come out the barrier so slow.
I have seen her do that on plenty of occasions. You have a look on the home turn. She's last on the fence in the green or sort of darker colours, and she obviously needs just one sprint at them, and gee, did she fly.
Yeah, it says Darren Gauci. He's just back on the inside. I think it's Ben Barra, Queen, and he's just coming to the outside now of the breastplate. He's followed Darren Beedman on Connaught Noir, and you'll see that he's tracked him right up until they get down to about just before the 300 metres. He's come to the outside of him. Here's where he's gone up outside of Connaught Noir on the winner, Diamond Zephyr, and just as we thought that Colent Noir was going to go on and win, along come Diamond Zephyr's just gone. Darren Gouchy's starting to get really busy now. Colent Noir looked the winner here.
But not soon after that, Diamond Zephyr got her measure. You know that Lee Friedman's only got about 2 mares in his stable. I think Hasty Departure in this little mare, so he's been pretty keen to stick with her. She's got a lot of ability. Proof of the pudding in that win, and Peter Donegan's talking to last year's Melbourne Cup winning trainer.
Yes, and Lee just about to go and congratulate the owners, but she's pretty smart, especially here at Flemington, Lee.
Yeah, she's a very good Flemington mare, Peter. She won here very impressively on Anzac Day, excuse me, over the same trip. And I just said to Darren today, with the likelihood of there being a solid pace on to ride her back and produce her down the outside with a late run, and she loves racing that way, and she won very impressively, I thought.